It's showtime. Good evening. Oh, I do like my new intro. I'm loving it. I am. I like the little music.
I feel like it should be like Hi Ho Silver Lining or something. That intro music.
I'll tell you what. I've got to see you in the green room, and Jeff from Alabama was having a disco to it. He was proper getting into the dancing. Fantastic. Amy. Few hours after the game, Aston Vanilla 0. Our team, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Let's give it your initial thoughts. A couple of hours after the game, what you're thinking. You've had a couple of glasses of wine as well.
Yeah, I'm not drunk though. I've only had a few, so don't worry about that. I think a bit frustrated with some of the chances that they had that they didn't go in the back of the net, but I'm sure we'll come on to those. But I think overall, being objective and looking at the game as a whole, I do think a draw was a fair result. I think ahead of the game, obviously Wolves can't really score goals, and Villa without Grealish can't really score goals. So it's always going to be a 0-0 or a 1-0. So I'm pleased that it was a 0-0, not a 1-0 loss, but obviously a bit annoyed that I think there was two very good chances that we could have scored. So a little bit frustrated. And again, the whole thing is that I don't think they really played very well in the first half, and that same old story. But I'm just ready for the season to be over. I'm not going to lie.
You were saying that beforehand, but then you go, but on the other hand, if you told me the season was over, I don't know if I
know. I'm being like, fickle, like going around the houses or whatever. But I think overall, Villa are a lot better this year than they were last year. So I think overall, draw at Villa Park is probably fine, and we're out of that dreadful spell, so you think it's okay. What about yourself, Dave?
It's another point, isn't it? It's another point. Just chatting to you in WhatsApp before, I kind of made myself laugh because it was on about the miss of the season. You talked about Villa and that second chance that the guy missed from inside the 6-yard box. And I'm like, that's miss of the season. And then you've got Saïs, hold my beer.
To be fair to Saïs or Saïs, whichever one you want to call him. I always say Saïs, but whatever. I do think that it happened so quickly that he didn't have time to know what he was doing. It just happened, but. Yeah, it's frustrating. It was very, very, and he knew. They all knew.
He was doing the Saïs plank for about.
I know. Bless him.
He was planked out, but he is the Moroccan prince. He's the joker in the pack, and we do love him. But it probably is miss of the season, but still. I mean, to sum up, your. Performance rating, Amy, and your man of the match tonight. What are you going to go for? Let's see whether we agree again on the man of the match or not.
I'm going to say 6.5 for performance rating.
I said 6.5 in my match reaction. Yeah, that's what I've said. Yeah.
I don't even know for man of the match. Is that really bad?
I was torn. I've got to admit, I found it difficult, but I did come up with one.
I've got 2.
Oh, I had 2 as well.
Neto.
Yes.
Neto is 1.
Yeah.
Because I just think he had, especially coming out in the second half, I think he was quite frustrated in the first half. But came out in the second half, I thought he put a very good shift in. He had a very good day at the office. He was, very hungry. And then my second one, I'm going to go with Semedo.
Oh, interesting. That's different to me. Yeah, go on.
I just think there's a few balls that I think he should have got to, but I think overall he had a very good. He seemed to be everywhere for me tonight. He seemed to be. He just seems to be getting every game a lot more comfortable and confident on the ball, and just trusting himself a bit more to just go for it. Which I think, looking back to earlier in the season, he was really cautious. But I feel like he's just got a bit more about him now, and I'm really enjoying watching him play. So yeah, those were my 2. Who was your second one?
Well, my second one was Connor Cody. I thought he had a good game at the back, couple of crucial interceptions, spraying the ball around, and he had 2. I mean, it's like waiting for a buzz, isn't it? He hadn't scored in forever, and then he nearly scored in 2 games when he hit the inside of the post and set up that miss of the season for Saeed. And then right at the end, he swiveled. I think he was placing it. Was on target. The keeper got his hand out. Maybe he should have just, he tried to place it. Maybe he should have leathered it, and it would have gone in. And I listened to him after the game, Cody, saying, I should have scored. But he was also talking about, after the game, he was also talking about the first half and the second half, because that was brought up again. And he was just saying they can't put the finger on it. We just can't keep doing this, having not playing in the first half and then turning up again in the second half. And I'm sure that's going to be a bit of the theme coming through with the callers tonight as well.
Yeah.
So are you going to pick in your 2 then, Neto or Semedo?
I mean, I can have 2, can't I?
No, you can't have 2.
I'm in charge and co-host. I made the rules along with you, so
okay. I'm not going to argue with you. I'll get told off. We'll go with you.
No, but I do think, just onto the Cody thing, I'm sure we'll call it a bit. I'm finding myself a bit like in a alternate universe that I'm actually sat there thinking, my God, Connor Cody's going to score again. I just find the whole thing a little bit bizarre. And you can see now, because previously when they've had set pieces, he's obviously been told you cannot cross that line. But now you've got Johnny Otto and Semedo hanging back, so that all of the back 3 can go into the box. So I don't know.
That's fair enough. You maybe the callers can help make your mind up for the end of the show, or whether you're going to go on what side of the fence that you're going to fall. Certainly it's going to be an interesting one. I think there's going to be lots of talking points tonight. The game of 2 odds, the misses, not being able to score, Mr. Cellophane, Willian Jose, because half the time you can't see him on the pitch as well. So that him as well. There's lots of talking points, because obviously Wolves could be spending £17 million on him, and is he going to be the answer? I'm sure there's going to be some interest. So let's get stuck in. Let's get stuck in. Apparently you're fiery tonight. Maybe it's the wine telling me off and everything. I don't mind.
Always fiery. Get told off for this a lot.
That's the way it should be. So first off tonight, we're going to have, I'm going to change the background. We're going to have Paul. He was first on. So we're going to bring Paul on. He always talks ever so well and constructively. Let's see what Paul has to say. Hi, Paul.
Good evening, boys.
Hi, Paul. Mr.
Can you get a light on you, Paul?
Let me put the light on. Sorry, I didn't realise it was that bad.
Yeah.
And for everyone, we are going to be trying to go and match the day.
Yeah, you need a light in front of you.
My living room's terrible for light. Let me try again.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Maybe a little better in the dark anyway.
It's only because, listen, Paul, I'm sorry, if there's a problem with getting referred to as looking like Jota, then just say, and we'll ban them from the comments. You don't have to do a shadowy figure.
Take it as a compliment, Dave.
How are you, Paul? How are you after that game tonight?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Mixed emotions, I guess. It's easy to point out the negatives, and I'm sure we'll come on to that. But I think I'll start by talking about a few of the positives. Clean sheet. I know we were sailing a little bit close to the wind with that in the first half when they hit the woodwork.
Yeah. Better
at defending crosses, I thought, from set pieces and open play. Both of their wide players were substituted, which is how good our fullbacks were at keeping them quiet.
Yeah.
And the second half, very controlled performance. They didn't have a kick, did they, Villa?
No. And Rui, I don't think Rui touched the ball until extra time, stoppage time at the end, did he? I can't think of when he did. So that was obviously very good.
That's it. I mean, their second half performance was like our first half performance, I thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lay a glove. Honest, did they in the second half, really?
No.
But yeah, like you just alluded to, the both of you, I'm sure people will want to talk about the difference between the first halves and the second halves, because contrary to what Conor Cody was saying in his interview after the match, I don't believe him, actually. It can't be an accident, can it, really? It can't be an accident that, and this was evident last season as well, that the first halves are so more tepid compared to the second half. It can't be an accident.
And you always I don't know, it's a weird one really, isn't it? Because I know I've said it before that I always think in long distance running, the analogy is that your second half performance always should be better than your first half. So I'm thinking with that head on, I'm like, is that what they go for? But then in a positive way of thinking, well, that's how they set up playing. Obviously, when it works, it works fantastically when they kind of come out all guns blazing and they're unstoppable in the second half. But then in my other head, I'm thinking, well, do they not have the capability to play at that intensity for 90 minutes? Because if they could, then they'd be completely unstoppable. And, they're Premier League players, so surely they should be able to play for that long, that intensity for that long. So I don't know, it baffles me. The whole thing really baffles me, because last season, you could say it worked so well. We got so many better points. We're the top third in the league or something based on second performances, but then we were at the bottom in the first half. So it worked spectacularly well in last season, but this year it hasn't really worked. It has in bits. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
My thoughts are that these tactics have come about through fear. Cast your mind back a couple of months. We were shipping goals left, right, and centre, sliding down the table at quite an alarming rate. And I think Nuno's thought, we need to make sure that we become really solid, compact, hard to beat. We need to try and nick a couple of 1-0s. And it's not been pretty, definitely. And I really didn't enjoy watching the first half yet again. But 1 defeat in 7, it's guided us onto 35 points. 1 more win, maybe 2, and that really puts us mathematically safe, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that had to become his overriding priority a few weeks back. And it's not attractive to watch, but you've got to hope that will come.
Yeah.
Interesting enough, Paul, we are talking about the first and second half stats. There is an interesting stat which I found out today. Since Wolves have got promoted to the Premier League, 65% of our goals have come in the second half to 35% in the first, and that's over 3 years. So, like you say,
it's not an accident.
Mathematically, when you're doing a toss in a coin and stuff, you can't, or you can get heads. But ultimately, over a long period of time, it kind of levels itself out. But it doesn't seem to be happening. It seems to be constantly that the first half, that we very rarely come out the blocks. I mean, there's a standard joke on my watch-alongs. Is that there's an unofficial rule with the Premier League that we're not allowed to score before the 40th minute. And things like that. It can't be a coincidence, can it? It just can't be.
No, it's down to mindset, I think. But I also believe that Nuno doesn't trust his back five enough to take the handbrake off fully. I don't think he trusts people to make offensive runs in case it leaves gaps, because he thinks they're not quick enough at the back. Especially the back three that we're playing tonight, and maybe even when Bolly's playing. They're not blessed with amazing pace, are they? That back three.
No.
And I think he's concerned about getting caught on the break himself.
Well, if you look at the back three, Paul and Amy, it's they're pretty much the same defence that we had in the Championship, more or less.
Yeah.
We are, I think the summer, because obviously Chandler on here is making it. The summer is going to be key to decide where we truly want to be as a club. I think that's a fair point, because
absolutely
we need a break. We need to get to the end of the season. We need to get fans back in the stadium. We've had a year for the younger players to start to adjust. We need to have a good transfer window. We need another central defender. If he's going to switch to that back four, which I think we saw indications of him looking to do, Getting a really top centre defender to play alongside Bolly, and then having the option of a back four or a back five, and have that sort of 6 to 8 week period in pre-training to work on the formations. I think that's the key period for us. Like Amy was saying, let's get to the end of the season now. Can he try a few things between now and the end of the season? I think he will be. I think we're pretty much safe, but the summer's going to be key. What would you want us to get in the transfer window in the summer? What's your targets?
That's a big question, because I think quite a lot of work needs to be done. I agree with you. We probably need a dominant, pacey centre-half, because, like you said, it's basically the back three that got us promoted. And you could argue that, especially Dendoncker and to a lesser degree Saith, they're not necessarily even defenders. So that's got to be a priority. An alternative to Neves and Moutinho, probably someone to play with Neves, actually, in midfield, somebody who can maybe chip in with a few more goals, someone who's a bit different, because they are quite similar, those two, the Portuguese players in midfield. I think we need another option out wide, because if Neto was injured, we would really be stuck at the moment.
I know.
And obviously he needs to address the centre forward position, because I haven't seen enough evidence on Jose yet to think that he could be the solution. Hopefully Jimenez will be back and firing straight away. I could see Silva going out on loan and them getting somebody who's a bit more proven in, because I think Silva will come good, but he's not ready to carry the burden.
I can't see Silva going on loan, Paul. I can't see they've spent 35 million to send him on loan. I can't see it. I think you've seen signs of Silva, and this is the accusation with. I mean, they were all on Silva's back a few weeks ago. We brought in Jose, and he does have a presence, Willian Jose. But if you look at the movement of Silva, and then you look at the movement of Willian Jose, that's the difference. Silva makes the movement to create an opportunity for a pass, and he's got in positions and he's missed them. But William Jose, he just seems ever so static in the box.
He does.
And he doesn't seem to make the runs like what Silva does. He's stronger. He's stronger at holding the ball, or probably good at bringing the play. But there seems more from Silva, more desire to make. Look at that run in the second half that he ran, tried to make something happen. I mean, you didn't see in 75 minutes William Jose do anything like that, did you?
And the worrying thing, and you could argue that he is feeding off scraps a little bit up front, but sometimes you need to try and make your own luck, or make something happen yourself. And I can't remember actually the last time he had a chance, let alone missed a chance. I think you're going almost back to the Crystal Palace match, when the last time like scoring.
I'd agree with that. Yeah, I think I don't know, there's just a few times, especially in the first instances in the first half, where Neto was running down and no one was moving with him. And you think, like, if Raul had been there, he'd have been moving into that box. He would have been in that box to make sure he was there for the cross from Neto. But I think because Neto doesn't realise he's going to be there, so then he plays it back. So that's where the frustration is. I'm quite frustrated with the whole Jose thing, because I think I just don't know what isn't working there. I think, like you said, he's got good hold-up play, but then sometimes he's not on the pitch at all, even though he's there, and it is frustrating. But anyway, I think, can we get your player rating, your match rating, and I can't get my words out tonight. Player rating.
Man of the match.
Man of the match and rating. That's the one.
Man of the match. The man of the match for me is Pedro Neto, because he was the only person that was going to nick that game for us with either a brilliant goal or a brilliant assist. So he's my man of the match. My match rating, if I split it in two halves, you'd probably be giving like a 3 or 4 for the first half, and maybe a 7 for the second half.
Again.
So exactly. Somewhere in the middle, something like a 5.5 or a 6. End of the day, it's a point gained and a clean sheet away from home. So you'd have taken that at half time.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
Thanks ever so much.
When is your quiz thing? When's the quiz?
I had an email actually yesterday from the Athletic. It's the 24th of March, so I think I'm down to the last 30.
Amazing.
Fingers crossed I can represent Wolves in a good way.
Bring it
Absolutely.
home. I mean, your compatriot when he was here, Jota won the FIFA eSports. So the pressure's on you now, isn't it, mate?
I hope so. Yeah, I hope I can do us proud anyway.
And hopefully we'll be able to meet on the tennis court soon as well, which would be nice. Yeah,
as soon as we can, let me know. I'm up for it.
All right, yeah, I've been watching videos on how to deal with people that loop the ball to the back of the court. All right, mate, lovely. Have a great, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and thanks for coming on, buddy.
Yeah, nice to see you both, and thanks for having me.
See you soon. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Great to have Paul. Always got some fantastic points, and we do have a debutant coming on now. Who's messaged the Always Wolves Facebook, and it's Giuseppe. Welcome, Giuseppe.
Hello.
Hiya.
Hello.
You okay?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. Yes, not bad, not bad.
Good.
Yes. So, yeah. Well, to be fair, it was a good game, really. To be fair, but the first half I wasn't too keen on that.
I don't think any of us were.
But obviously, like, I was disappointed. That foul on when Watkins ran into Adama in the first half. That wasn't a foul. I was that frustrated when that happened. But
yeah, you could see it from both ways, couldn't you, really? I think overall the ref did have quite a good game tonight.
Yeah, yes. But
So,
I don't think he did.
the ref?
No. He did not have a good game.
I thought it was quite... What did you think, Dave, about the ref tonight? I thought it was quite good.
To be fair, I thought the ref did a decent job in keeping the game flowing on the injuries and stuff like that. I think he was fairly even with both sides. I mean, Giuseppe, why do you say that the ref didn't have a good game? What's your thinking on that?
Because that foul on Watkins when Adama just outstrengthened him there, it wasn't a foul.
I don't think you can be... It didn't lead to anything, though, did it? So I don't think you could be too frustrated and base your opinion of the referee on that when it didn't. It was a bit nondescript, really, a bit frustrating. But you get those either way, don't you? When it's a football game, they can go for you one time or another. So what? So you were disappointed in this first half. So what about the second half?
Well, the second half, I actually quite enjoyed the second half, really, to be fair. The second half was amazing. And
apart from the fact we didn't score, but...
Yeah, well, Connor Cody, again, he should have scored that, though, really. He should have scored it. He should have scored again. But it happens, though, really, to be fair. Because when he hit the post and then he went over to the Sace, Say should have scored that.
Yeah, the Sace chance was more of a miss than the Cody miss.
Yeah, yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So do you have a man of the match? And Giuseppe, that's a Giuseppe Troiso. That's an interesting name. Where's that from? And are you based in England or you somewhere else in the world?
I'm based in England.
Yeah.
I'm from Wolverhampton.
Wolverhampton.
Yes.
Great.
So
have you got Italian family?
Yes, I have. Yes.
That's where it comes from. Then I thought so. Fantastic. Yeah. What's your man of the match and your performance rating?
Well, I'm gonna go for man of the match. To be fair, Connor Cody's had a good game at the back tonight, so I'm gonna go for Connor Cody, and my rating for the first half, it's got to be about a 2. And the second half, a 4.
Oh, God. So overall, you were a 3 out of 10. So you were quite low.
Yeah.
So you really enjoyed the second half, but you only gave it a 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you just talk me through that?
Well,
Just interested because you're saying it's really good, and then you give it a 4 out of 10. So I thought you were going to say like an 8 out of 10 for the second half.
Well, I don't know really. I don't know what to say.
Just because we didn't score, is that why?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So if they'd have scored, it would have been 8 out of 10.
Yeah. Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, anything else that you'd like to? What would you like to see for the Liverpool game?
Well, I would like to see for the Liverpool game. I would like a more better performance in both halves, though. Really, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely.
Because to be fair, this Jose, he will become a good player for us, but he's not. For some reason, I don't know what he's not performing at the minute.
No.
But if we can start Fabio Silva for the Liverpool game, I would be happy for that.
Okay.
Because Fabio Silva, he'll become a great player for us. He'll become a great player.
Yeah.
So
we'll see.
So
we'll see what happens.
I would like us to play better the first half and second half as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Brill.
Well, Giuseppe, absolutely brilliant to have you join and give us your views and thoughts and ratings. Thanks for joining us this evening. I hope you've enjoyed coming on live with us.
Yes, no problem. Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Okay,
we wish you the best for the weekend.
Okay, and you.
Bye.
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 That's Giuseppe making his debut on the channel. Next up, we've got Rhea on her own.
Oh no, he's here.
Oh no, Dad's back.
How are you both?
Good, thanks.
All right, not bad.
Good. Just having my gulp of wine.
She's enjoying her wine tonight. She's on. It's
Saturday night. Saturday night, 5:30 kick-off. Always. That's one of the things I'm actually going to not enjoy. I always have a glass of wine while I'm watching the football now, and I feel like when you go back to the Molyneux, I'm not going to be able to do that. So that is one of the benefits of watching on your settee. So anyway, enough about my wine habits. How did you find the game this evening?
Well, first half was terrible. We played the same as we have been lately. Like no intensity. We've been playing passive, and we was just defending constantly. And we had a few let-offs as well. They hit the bar twice, which was really lucky. And then second half, we did pick up the tempo. We had more intensity. Players were taking people on, and we were creating more chances.
Yeah, it's the same old story, isn't it?
Yeah.
What we've been saying for a long time, the way we've been starting games with a mindset of being so negative and passive and showing too much respect to the opposition and letting them have the football while we'll sit off. Yeah, you can dictate things. Then we get a rocket at half time from Nuno. We go back out there. We start pressing people in better areas of the pitch. We're more intense about the way we want to win the ball back. We're moving the ball at a quicker tempo. And we're actually creating chances and getting up the field and committing bodies forward. But we're wasting 45 minutes of football again. And I feel like a broken record. I'm saying it every week. We're wasting massive chunks of games by being so passive rather than trying to get at teams and assert our dominance on the game from the first whistle.
Yeah, it's frustrating, isn't it? It's and I think like we said with Paul to start with, it's hard to understand why really, but you know, we kind of come to expect it though. I feel like if I'm trying to be positive about it, I'd rather have them have a poor first half and good second half than a good first half and then a poor second half. So that's a positive way to look at it, is what I'm trying to tell myself, because you know me, always like to be positive. There's worse things in the world to worry about, but it is frustrating.
And Rhea, do you want to say something as passionate as your dad about the game today? Have you got any thoughts on what he's just said? Do you agree, or have you got anything further to add on that? Anything you want to pick out, or a player that you want to mention?
Well, a player I'd like to mention is Neto. He was very good today. He was my man of the match. In second half, he was like really taking people on and creating chances. And I think we just need more people that it's an attacking threat to other teams because we're just so passive. It's just the same old story each time.
Neto was good. He looked like the most likely to create something for us. You know, if something was going to happen, it was going to be through the work of Neto. He went on a great run in the second half from a corner, a Villa corner that we cleared. And he went on a great run and that made the keeper make a save. He put the ball in where Cody hit the post. That was his delivery. Yeah, I think Neto was a pretty good performer and worthy of man of the match. There was a few other players who I think...
Are you actually both going to agree on man of the match tonight for a change?
I'm not going to go that far, Dave. I'm not going to...
Okay.
You're allowed to man of the matches today. That's the rules for tonight. You're allowed to.
Yeah, I've been overruled by Ames. You're allowed to.
Yeah, I think Cody was good as well.
Yeah, he had two chances as well, didn't he? One, a header hit the post. Then Sai should have put that away. He was 1 yard out. He just got his foot like under the ball and it went up. Hit it the wrong time.
Yeah, it's the reaction time. And by the time it hit the post and come out to him, he hadn't reacted quick enough. And
it was his. To be fair, like it looked like a sitter to us, but in like technical football terms, that it probably was a lot harder than it looked. And apparently, it was his weak foot as well.
Yeah, it was. His right foot. He put it over with his right foot, and he did come at him quickly. And he didn't have time to adjust his body. So what he did was he stretched out his right leg to reach it, ended up leaning back, getting underneath the ball, and putting it over. That can happen to the best of players, you know, it's just one of them things. But it looks horrendous on television because you're 1 yard out.
And then they slow it down and it just always looks so much worse. And you think, stop showing this Sky Sport. Stop showing it me. I know it was a bad miss. Move on.
Yeah, everything looks worse in slow motion, doesn't it? Everything looks worse. Again, I thought Semedo was a decent performer tonight. That's another one I'll give a mention to. He got forward well again, and he looks like he can help create things, and it looks dangerous when he gets in the opposition's half. He defended quite well and all, stood up to the test of Traore. He didn't commit himself stupidly. He got his tackles in, won the ball. So I think Semedo had a decent game. I think Cody had a decent game. Neto was dangerous. It just all boils down again to the same problem of if we could just play in the first half the way that we do in the second half and sustain a performance. We're capable of doing it. We show our fans every single week the type of football we're capable of playing, but we show it at the end of games, the back end of games, after 30 minutes, after 45 minutes. We've got to start from the first whistle to play that way, just to try and get on the front foot and not show too much respect to teams and be willing to take the game to them. Not say, you can have the ball and you can come at us and we'll sit. We're good enough to do it. They've got to believe in themselves. They've got to trust their ability, because if they do, they'll win more games.
I think that's pretty well summed up, to be honest. As I think I've mentioned earlier, the stats for the first half and the second half don't lie. I've got to be honest. After the first 6 minutes of the Sheffield United game, the first match of the season, I thought maybe things were changing, but that was seemed a blip. To be honest, we fixed it up after 2.
Oh God, that feels blooming ages ago. That we've had 2 lockdowns, we've had loads of injuries, we've got a vaccine, loads of happened, hasn't it? So what? Finally, I think you kind of took your man of the match. If you want to sum up and your rating, that'd be great.
My rating overall's a 6. I'll give the first half like a 5. We were terrible, and then second half we were better. I gave it like a 7. So I think in between a 6.
Yeah, that's fair enough, because you just got to balance it up, ain't you, with a poor first half, with a good second half. Unfortunate not to win the game because we created the opportunities. Cody, I like Cody going up there. He causes some others. He's got good movement, gets on the end of things. That's good. It's an extra body in the box, extra person who can create some danger and get on the end of things. You know, scored the other game. He's unfortunate not to get 2 today. I mean,
he had another one that he turned with and then tried to put it away, but he couldn't manage. It was a good save by him.
It was a good save, good goalkeeping, but he turned smartly on that. Just couldn't get enough on his shot with his left foot. But again, he's getting in the right area, getting on the end of things. That's what we want to see. So that's another part to his game that's been added, and another threat for Wolves when we get set pieces is let's get Cody in there. We know Sace can score goals. We ain't got Willy Bolly in the team at the minute. He's a massive aerial threat. All this adds up to us making us a more dangerous team at set pieces.
Definitely.
I think that pretty much sums it up. So, guys, any final thoughts before we finish off with you?
For Liverpool, looking forward to Liverpool. I'm just hoping, like everybody will be hoping, that we can just start the game better. Start at a higher tempo, start with that intensity.
Yeah, and I think if Bolly's 100%, bring him in instead of Dendoncker, because Dendoncker has looked shaky in defence. And if you still want to play him in midfield, he can cover the ground. He has good fitness. He hunts down the ball well. So I think we need Bolly back in the team.
Yeah, but Bolly is.
I have a feeling Bolly will be in the side for.
I think it's another week, isn't it? Because it's not until next Monday. So I think with another week, I think Bolly definitely will be in the starting team. Then Donker probably back into midfield. I don't know.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thanks again for joining us, guys, and enjoy the rest of the weekend and look out for the international fan reaction tomorrow as well.
Will do, Dave. Will do.
All right, take care, guys.
Bye.
And they always come up. I love the way they interact with each other and they argue with each other. I just love it. I do. But next, we've got a special treat, Amy. We've got the main man all the way from the US of A.
Oh.
Not on the porch, I don't think.
No.
It's Wolfman Jeff.
Oh,
you guys
got his hat on and everything.
Well, that's just because my hair is a mess. So there you go.
You've got your colours on today, Jeff.
Well, yeah. It's sometimes you have to do that when you don't feel it. Maybe if you dress it, you're gonna feel it a little bit more. So,
what time is it in Alabama?
Oh, it's in the afternoon. It's almost 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So we're about 5 hours from you, but I think you changed back to or away from daylight savings time earlier than we do. So at some point we're gonna get out of sync. But generally, actually in Alabama, it's actually almost 4 o'clock. But because I live so close to Chattanooga, where I work, I'm in Chattanooga time, which is Eastern. So
that just baffles me when the same country has different time zones.
I live on the edge. So, well, actually, Alabama is almost I think about the same size of England. So
oh my God!
The state
that's the crazy thing about the States. The States, they're massive. Jeff, I've got to say before we start talking about the game, I saw in the green room you were proper dancing to the intro. I saw you, mate. He was going with it, Amy. Proper was. Weren't you, Jeff?
I was having a little bit of fun with it, and I'm more of a rock and roll fan, but I think Dave's more of an EDM party guy. So he probably likes all the dance clubs. I can't dance, but I can rock and roll. So, but I had a little fun with it, and it's just like you have to find joy when you can. In today's match, I had to find joy in your intro, which was more exciting than the game. So,
well, that leads us swiftly on to the game, doesn't it? So, seamless link there, Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
Well done.
On there we go.
So, what were your thoughts about tonight? Any kind of different points that you'd like to make from previous callers? What were your thoughts? And
well, going into it, I was hoping we could eke out a win because. Yeah, we played very poorly against Man City, but that was Man City. So, it was just dreams that I had that we would get points on Man City. But before that, we were doing much better. Villa has not been doing as good lately. So I was hoping that was going to give us a little bit of an edge. Plus the fact that they beat us at the Molineux. So I know that there was a little bit of sometimes revenge gives you a little bit extra. Without the fans there, that kind of mutes that. But that first half was very poor. And it's been, I know we kind of play the same thing again where we sit back and we test them and watch them. And then the second half, we really come alive. Well, the problem with that is usually what we do is when we sit back is that we do very well on the counter. And we did not. And that's the thing that's probably currently has got me more concerned than just about anything else is we don't have the teeth we used to have in the counterattack. Mm-hmm. And that's really going to hurt us. So when we did, to be honest, our counterattacking was Neto. trying to do something and no one else catching up to him. There's such a gap when we are advancing and pushing. There's such a gap between our midfield and our front line right now, in particular with our striker. The midfield is half the field away, it seems like, and our wingers aren't really passing it to him. So I'm not sure that Silva is better than Jose, but I know that the team seems to trust him more, and they are more likely to set him up. So even if Silva's not really getting the ball in, him being in that spot, it seems to get the rest of our team in their position. So I hope for the Liverpool match, I'd like to see Silva get a go, and then maybe William Jose can do better coming off the bench in the second half when everyone else is warmed up. I'm not sure if that makes sense. Generally speaking, our back line was better, except for Dendonka. I'm getting more and more concerned with Dendonka. I'm really hoping Bali. I was delighted to see he was available, and I figured that if he was going to come in, it was going to come at the end. I'm surprised that he didn't come in at all. But I really hope for Liverpool that we're going to see Bali in there. And
I think that's likely to happen, Jeff, with 9 days before the next game. I can't see the Donk being at the back. Unless Bali has a relapse, I think, because he's been on the bench the last 2 games. Obviously, he's sort of match ready. Whether or not we'll get a full 90 out of him or not, I'm not so sure. But I think he'll be in for the Liverpool game.
I think, honestly, today, I would have rather have seen Kilman in there instead of Dendonka, just because Donka's
Kilman can't play on that side, though.
Well, I know, but Saiz can. And
I've not seen Saiz play on that side, I don't think. I don't know whether you have.
He's like a human Lego. You can put Saiz where you want. He'll go. He'll have a good time. He won't be as
I was
effective
thinking
as
he
Bali.
might get he'd be one of the top scorers soon if he'd have netted that one tonight. But
yeah, I'm not gonna bug him too much about that because I'm sure he's beating himself up, which is interesting. Some of our biggest threats on goal was from our center backs. So
I said this to my dad earlier. I was like, well, that just sums up the blooming goal strike problem that Wolves have got. The fact that Connor Cody and Saiz are having the best chances of the game, but
yeah,
we all know that, don't we?
Yeah, so I would give a rating overall a 6, and a lot of that is we played poor in the first. We improved in the second, but not enough to raise it any more than a 6 overall.
Hey Jeff, why do you think this issue with the first and second half? What do you think? I mean, from you watching it, and because you do analyse and you're good at analysing stuff, what can you put your finger on it? Why it is?
What I'm good at is just talking, and people for some reason believe me. I don't know why. I'm an American where we call it soccer here, and you guys still think I know what I'm talking about. But it is refreshing to be on here and actually have someone that doesn't sound like he lives in Wolverhampton. So, because a lot of the international ones are actually people from Wolverhampton, and so there's someone from Berlin and someone from Spain, and just, and they're yams. So it's pretty funny. But no, it's I think the half thing, it's got to go. Honestly, I think it can't be just testing them out, because this is our 3rd year back in the Premier League. We know these other sides. I think at this point it's confidence, and I say that because how we played at the beginning of the season when we still had Raul, it was we had a lot more confidence, and we would still have some halves a little better than other, but not to the level we're having it now. So I feel like they don't believe they're going to do well, and it isn't until the second half where Nuno says, "Okay, this is what's happening. Let's adjust," and then they adjust, rather than going into it thinking that they're going to win. When we played Man City, I tell you right now, before they got on the pitch, Pep had them in their mindset going, it doesn't matter too much. You don't have to worry about Wolves because you're going to win and you're going to play your game. And we used to have that approach where we were not afraid of any other team. I'm not saying we're so much afraid. I think we were scarred when we were leaking goals so much that right now there's more of a worry on giving up goals than trying to get goals. Does that make sense?
I think exactly. I think that exactly makes sense. What's your overall rating and your man of the match, Jeff, to finish off?
I had said it just a little bit before, but it was my Alabama accent that threw you off. But it was I had a 6 overall. 6 overall.
That's right. Yes, 6.
And I know you guys had 6.5, and I was close to it. But you know what? The that first half just brings it down for me. And very disappointed in the first half. Man of the match, it's tough. I'm somewhere between Cody and Neto.
Ooh,
and I want to give it to Cody because he was pushing and trying. But I right now, Neto is our most consistent. And no matter what happens or who he's playing with, Neto is full on. He's 90 minutes of no stopping. He just puts everything in there. So I'm gonna give this to Neto.
Fantastic, Jeff. And Jeff, I have to say it's always a pleasure. It consistently sends over every game. Whether he's watching it sneakily at work or he's on the porch, and everything like that. You always gets the reaction over, mate. You're an absolute legend, and I really, really look forward to one day shaking your hand in person, mate.
There we go. I take a picture so I can add it to my video for you. Hey, I appreciate you, man. You guys are fantastic. You brought me into this bigger family. And so one day I will get to Wolverhampton and you can teach me to speak properly.
All right, Austin. We look forward to that day, mate. I can't wait to showing you the sights of Wolverhampton.
Both of them.
Yeah, and then after the next 10 minutes, we'll do something else.
We'll take you to the pub.
We will, mate. Don't you worry.
It sounds good. All right, I'll catch you guys later.
All right,
Bye.
cheers, Jeff.
Cheers.
The Wolfman himself. Absolute legend, this guy is. He's brilliant. I love him to bits. I do. I really do. I feel like, he's become a really good friend, even though I've not actually met him and everything. But I do feel like he's such a good friend of mine now, which is brilliant. So I hope I get a chance to meet him in person one day. We've got another debut coming up. We've got a chap called Keith. Hello?
Hi, guys.
Oh, God.
We can't see you, though.
That's so spooky.
Hello?
Is he like outside in a tent or something?
Keith?
Hello.
We can't see you, mate.
It's me resolution at the moment. It's really bad.
All right, well, let's just do it as it's almost like a Zoom with the camera off. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah. Like I said, the first half, like everybody was saying, it was the same old thing. I think Adama Traore is really lacking in confidence. He's not doing the same running at people like he has been. I'll go back to the game last year against Man City when we beat him. He was out of this, no one could touch him. And the second half, big improvement. Like you say, that's South's chance. Yes, it was difficult. It wasn't as easy as the camera showed it. But and Neto, amazing player, dead young. He's going to improve and get better. But they need more players in the midfield to create more. Jose is lacking the know-how of the league to get the goals in.
Yeah.
And what was your thoughts on William Jose and Fabio Silva in the striking department?
I think Silva he's got more movement. The other players can play around with him, know where he's running, but they still don't know what Jose does.
Do you feel
And
like Jose's a little bit like he's like in the dark, like you can't see him or anything?
A bit like me, yeah.
Absolutely. Who would you start against Liverpool? Who would you start against Liverpool?
I'd actually go outside the box, Gibbs White.
Oh right, okay.
Where would you play White behind the front too?
No, I'd play him straight through the middle, up front, pace against their defence. Yeah.
Fair play. That's a different one. I'm sure Nuno, if you're watching, have a think about that one.
Look at what Man City do. None of them. Their front three was a striker against Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean it's something to think about, isn't it? I don't know whether I can see it happening myself, but it's an option.
And who's your man of the match and your performance rating for tonight?
Man of the match, Coldy.
Great.
And the rating, 6.5.
Same as us for the rating.
Absolutely. And do you know what, Keith? I went for Cody as well as my man of the match as well.
Yeah. And Dave, don't forget, we had the displeasure of doing the Warsaw fan along as well this afternoon. And that was...
Oh, Keith, you went and you was on Walsall Fan TV, my friend Simon.
Yes.
Cambridge scored a last-minute winner, didn't they, against Walsall? And he was rather upset.
I've never seen someone sink into the sofa so much. It was about 6 foot when they started and 3 foot when they finished.
Okay, so what were you doing on the Walsall Fan TV then, Keith?
A lot of my friends are Walsall fans, and I like to give them a bit of GP, as you know.
All right, well, that's fair play to you. That's fair play to you. And, it's just a shame that the viewers can't actually see you. We can't put a picture, a face to the voice and everything. Do you not like?
They'll be probably
have lamps or anything like that in your house? If you got no lamps, or
no, I'm actually in my shed in the garden.
do they not have? You don't have any light? I've got a chuckle, mate, because you got no light in your shed.
No, not at the moment. No.
He's been banished to the shed.
What are you doing in the shed?
Well, that's the only place where I get to watch the football.
Oh, is it like your man cave? It's your man cave.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right. Okay. Fair enough.
I'll tell you what.
My dad's got 2 sheds, so maybe you can chat about the sheds sometime. He's got 2. When he's my mum's had enough of him. We took him in the shed, my dad.
So they said that you seem like a nice lad, though.
Well, it takes a lot to come on here, whether you've got lights or no lights. So we appreciate you coming on, and it's always great to have new people come on. So thank you for joining us, and we might see you in the light one day. That'd be great.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll get it all sorted next time.
Great.
It's a bit late now, but for the next time, can you get it sorted?
100%, and then you'd be calling me Nuno because I just look like him with a beard.
Hold on, maybe it is actually Nuno, then he doesn't want to show his face.
I mean, we're going up in the world if that's the case.
Although Nuno has developed a black country accent, and so he's disguising his voice well if that's the case.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Thanks for coming on, Keith. We'll see you soon.
Well, or not. Hopefully we'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon, maybe.
At least, Keith, at least you can laugh about it, mate. That's the main thing. I've got to say, Keith, this is one of the most interesting. We've gone from someone said we've gone from Wolfman Jeff to Ghostman because we can't see you, but at least we can have a laugh.
We've got to have a laugh, haven't we?
Come back again, get a light in your shed, and we'll have you back, mate.
I will. Okay, take care, both. Take care.
See you. Bye.
I'll tell you what, fair play to him. And you know what? I am trying not to laugh because I'm only laughing because some of the comments make me laugh.
Comments are really funny, so
You can't help but laugh at some of the comments. And Keith was a lovely guy, and we're not laughing at him; we're just laughing at the situation because he hasn't got a light and everything.
I don't think
The one thing you got to say. The one thing I got to say. Do not ever tell me you do not get entertainment on this channel and you don't have a laugh, because it's pretty much, you can guarantee you'll always have a laugh on this channel, and that's what it's all about. We can have a chuckle.
I don't think Keith realised how funny that was though. Like, I don't think he realised how funny, like the laughter and humour that he brought. So cheers for that, Keith. But we would like to see your face.
The Ghost Man. He's got a new nickname, the Ghost Man. Gary Putney says, comedy gold. Thomas, how did you not laugh? I was close, but he was a lovely guy, and hopefully he'll get he'll get a light. But he says he looks like Nuno, so we've got to get him on again, because now he's the mystery man, and we need to know what the mystery man looks like. So I hope he comes back on again. Seriously, fantastic. But I've got a tear down my eye because I can't stop. But still, anyway, next up, we've gone from Wolfman to Ghostman to Statman. How you doing, Speedy?
All right, yourself?
Hello,
Good.
mate.
Thanks for putting the light on.
Brilliant. Oh, I'll go put it off so you're not like.
You're so funny.
What, were you laughing at me then?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, brilliant.
I didn't think it was that funny. Maybe that's my quitting personality. Right, guys, come on. Right, lads, come on. Come on. You're losing it. I'm the one that's drank the wine, and I'm the one that's composed. Come on. Oh, Speedy's frozen now. Right, breathe.
Okay.
Oh.
It's Speedy. Come on.
Speedy, stats. Come on.
Yeah. Sorry. Thank you for letting me come on. We did so with Cody as the pug, for the bug name, as it's my mum's favourite pet. Right, Dave. So stats: Aston Villa 6 shots to Wolves' 11. Oh, I'm all right now. Villa had 1 shot on target. Wolves had 3. Corners 5 to Villa, 3 to Wolves. Offside, Villa got caught. Offside 3 times, Wolves never. Yellow cards, Villa got the only 1. No red cards. Passes 409 for Aston Villa. I'm not written the passing down for Wolves. Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, no, I have. Sorry. 420 for Wolves. So that's obviously better than Aston Villa. Passing accuracy, Aston Villa 77.8%, for Wolves 82.6%. Possession, Aston Villa had 49% and Wolves had 51%. Fouls 13 each. Saves, Emmy Martinez for Villa made 3, and for Wolves, Rui Patricio made the only 1. Oh, thank you.
Well,
that was brilliant, mate.
So what, apart from the stats, what did you think of the game, Speedy? Is he frozen?
Can you still...
Is he frozen now? God, it's all going to pot, Dave.
You still
Oh,
hear me?
Lord.
What I made of the game?
we
So
can hear
first
you.
half, Aston. Is Dave all right? Anyway, sorry. First half.
Amy's had a third glass of wine.
First half. I think she needs a reverse too. Yeah. So first half, Villa dominated the ball, but it's probably like most Wolves halves. I think my mum said on Twitter, there's this guy. It says Nuno's may as well give the half-time talk in the first half because the second half they improved. I think on my notes I put it was always a fair result. I see it as a point gained as for the first chances Villa had in the first half. I want to mention Fabio because I think he has had a lot, but I really like him.
Yeah.
I think he's a guy that's going to progress and get and grow in the game.
Yeah.
And he's 18. I'm actually older than Silver. I'm 20, so well, you know what I mean. He's more mature than myself, but you know what I mean. A match to watch. Oh yeah, I will be able to bring Cody, the pug, not Connor Cody. Don't want to get anyone confused.
When's
on the next
pub,
extra time show, which will obviously be.
When's the pub coming?
Thursday. So obviously the Liverpool match is on the Monday, but obviously I think it'd be too late for the. You have to do it back
Have you thought of
Tuesday.
a name yet?
Sorry.
Have you thought of a name?
Yeah, we agreed on Cody. Yeah, we've agreed on Mr. Connor Cody, the Wolves captain. Yeah. Oh yeah, for the man of the match. Sorry. Or do you want to ask me that, or if I just jump the gun? Or
But if you can tell us your man in the match, that's absolutely fine.
all right, no worries. Sorry. So man of the match for me, like I can't pick. I'm like Amy. I'm having two. Well, I mean, two man of the matches, not two wines. Neto and Cody. And for my first half rating, I give it a 5, and then my second half, I give it a 7. I'm probably a bit probably too positive. I always like to be like that. So, there's Mr. Speedy, myself.
Oh, well, thank you. We always enjoy having you on for the stats and obviously the last first night.
And I hope your mom's a lot better as well now, Speedy.
Yeah, she's all right, mate. Thank you for asking. You know what I mean? She's coping all right. She's got me to look after her, so she's all right, bless her. And also, if I could mention Jason, is it Jason Guy? I just want to say, I think I know it's your show, Dave. I do apologise. I just want to say he's an absolute gentleman, and well done for raising all that money. My mum absolutely loves the book, so yeah, I just wanted to mention that as well, if that's okay.
Absolutely brilliant. And Adrian Richard says, I love how the stat man flows. Is incredibly prepared. Well done, mate. And thanks again. And you got another one from Andrew Benton. Fab stuff, Speedy. Absolutely brilliant, mate.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully we'll see you at the Liverpool game.
Yeah, I'm in the South Bank. Joking, yeah.
All right, mate. Lovely. All the best, Speedy.
Take care.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
So next up, to follow that, I've just
be composed, Dave.
Composed now. Waiting. We've got Steve. We've got a new guy who's backfield, or he was there. He's Aaron, and we've got Scott still backfield. So let's bring on Steve from the Howlers. Hello, Keith. Keith's back.
He's done that on purpose, he has, because he's a friend of the show, so he's done that on purpose.
Hello. Oh,
hello. He couldn't help himself then.
It's Keith. He ain't paid the lecky bill, or he's in the doghouse, isn't he? Whatever he's doing.
Well, Merv Bennett says, top that next. I tell you what, you've been laughing along with us, mate.
Mate, I've been peeing myself, to be honest with you, mate. That's been brilliant. What was he doing in the shit? Oh God!
It was funny though.
I think you're right what he said, Steve. He's either in the doghouse or he's not paid the electricity bill, or he's in the doghouse, or both. He's in the doghouse and he's not paid the electricity bill.
He's missing an Albion fan or something.
Maybe, well, I don't know. But great to have him on. Like if he's still watching, you know, we're all friends here. We're just joking.
Oh my God! What a crazy night.
I'll tell you what, it's cheered everyone up though.
It's cheered me up anyway. After that game, anyway, it was absolutely shocking. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll be completely honest with you. I actually missed the first 20 minutes of the game just because it wasn't through
But you didn't miss much, Steve. You didn't miss much.
No, I know. I knew exactly what was going to happen. I knew exactly what the tactics were going to be. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go and walk the dog, and I'll come back in a bit and see what's happened. Hopefully, we won 0 or whatever, but I might be surprised, but obviously not. It was, I come back and it was, same old, same old. You got a question, really? What's actually going on, really? I do think Nuno's tactics are soak up pressure as much as you can. Give them a false sense of security, and hopefully we'll smash them in the second half. But I don't know. It's it comes down to everything about this season, really, about losing our main threats like Doc and Jota, and the signings we've made. I mean, Silva and Jose, if I pronounce his name. How ineffectual they actually are in the game. It's I don't know. It's just what I expected, really. Exactly what I expected. A stronger second half, but that was definitely there. But threats wise, again, I keep saying the same thing: play down the middle, feed them through the middle. But it never seems to happen. I'm just a bit. I don't know. It's the part of the season where we've got nothing to play for, but at the same time, you want to see something, don't you? You want to see a bit of fight, you want to see a bit of passion, and we get nothing. We get absolutely nothing. I'm getting quite frustrated with it now because it's so obvious what's going to happen the next game. Every game that comes, whether they're a good team or a bad team, it's the same old. It's so predictable, and I'm getting really annoyed with it, to be honest with you.
Are you like a little bit like Ames? And probably all of us now just want to get to the end of the season, have a break from it, come back next season, and hopefully solve all these issues.
Well, that's it. I mean, we've got a plan for it. There's a lot we've got to sort out. I mean, these players that we've got are getting a bit older. You've got to think about Martinho. Has he got the legs anymore? You've got to think about the back. I thought Cody had a good game today. How many seasons has he got left? And Bolly's seems to be a bit injury prone, and he's our main man at the back, isn't he, as well? So, but the striker problem, it's amazing how much we actually rely on him. And it's not just the goals; it's everything else. It's a link-up play. Everything gets played through him. I mean, Dave, you've spoken about having players to play around and basing your team around your main players. Jimenez is clearly the player that we've wanted to play. He's our main man, and he's sorted everything out. I mean, the whole game is revolved around him, and you can see how much we've missed him. It's not just the goals; it's everything else that comes with it. It's the runs, it's the link-up play, it's the counter attack, it's the pace, it's the closing down. Everything. We've lost everything since he's been gone. Since he's been gone, we have lost our identity. I think it's worrying that one player can do that. And him, he's getting on now. I'm not saying he's not old, but he's not. We can't rely on him because
he's old for a footballer, then. Yeah,
exactly. But if if he's the only player that we can rely on, I mean, we are. I keep saying the same thing. Really, we have massively overachieved the past 2 seasons. If that is the only thing that we need to strengthen on as a striker, we don't. I think we have. I think we played at full throttle for the past 2 seasons. It just shows how much you've actually missed him.
I think it's the combination of Jimenez, and I do think, and out of all the teams in the Premier League, Wolves are one of the worst affected by not having fans there. I say exactly the same, Ames. I really, really have. We do need that. We do need that there, but that's no excuse because everybody's in the same situation, really. So I do get what you're saying. I feel exactly the same way. But you've got to step up. You paid a lot of money to be on that pitch. You paid a lot of money. You got to press. You got to, especially the first halves. It infuriates me how we can be so lethargic and so. I'll just come play. Come on,
come on, just come and play at us. And if we don't close down, we don't seem to be interested first half ever. And I don't get it. It's not a tactic. I really want to see a difference next season. I want to see us, because we were full throttle the whole game, and we were better second half most in those 2 seasons. We were, but even still, the first half we were still dangerous.
Yeah.
I saw it didn't come on Man City game, by the way. I was working, unfortunately, but it was and I know it's Man City. They are a phenomenal team, but they were a phenomenal team when we played them at their ground the season before, and we had chance after chance in that first half. I think Jimenez had 2 chances.
Petroni had a few chances as well.
Yeah, a few chances as well. We had chances, and teams like Burnley and teams, they gave them a game. We didn't even give them a game. We just we are. It seemed like we were like an FA Cup team. We were a weak team. You are far better than us. We'll just cope with you and see how it goes. It wasn't. We've got a threat as well. Come and see what we can do. That didn't even come into the equation. And
are you frustrated, Steve? Would you say that's your general feeling at the moment? Frustration?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or is it apathy that we're all sort of so used to it now?
We have got good players on that pitch, mate. We really have. It's not apathy. It is frustration, because I get it with Nuno. He tried this new formation out. It didn't work out. But you've got players there that can cause a problem to other teams, and other teams seem to do it against the big teams as well. I know she's for us today, so it's not the same thing as Man City, but it is that kind of fear. We do have that kind of fear of other teams, and Nuno has that fear. You can tell by his tactics there's a fear there. I'm getting really annoyed with it, because we have got a really good team, and we can do a lot better. We really, really can.
I think it's fair to say that if we this pattern continues the start of next year, then obviously I think there is some fundamental issues. I'm always a glass half full. I think that the summer break and the reset button and fans hopefully being back and a good summer window, I think for everything that we've been through this year, and we've took some knocks, we've had issues, we've had that bad run, but we're safe. Yeah. I think that we will be stronger next year for it, and I think sometimes in life, generally in life, whether it's the football club you watch or sometimes you take a step back to go forward, and I think this has been our step back this season. And I hope I'm not wrong. I hope that we're not having this conversation 5-6 games into next season, but I really strongly believe we'll kick on.
I agree. We've got to recruit better, though, Dave. We have got to recruit better. I mean, you can say that. Let's get them young and then build them up. But if your squad as small as ours is, you've got to look at people that signings that are proven. Basically, we've got to look at midfield, especially attacking midfielder. We've got to look at a striker that's just like Jimenez, really. I mean, how do you find that striker? I don't know how you do that, But
how did we find Jimenez? I don't really know that one, to be honest, but we found him.
Who, sorry?
How did we find Jimenez?
Wow.
We found him.
What's your man of the match and your score prediction to finish off then, Steve?
Well, before I finish off, can I just mention one little thing? We did a gig a couple of weeks ago for the Wolves Foundation. We're doing one again this Friday. It's either at the Molineux or we're going back to Birmingham. I'm not sure where the venue is yet, but we're going to do another show. And it's going to be the full band this time, the 5 of us this time. And we're going to be raising money for the Feed Our Pack campaign, which will be based on the Liverpool game the following Monday. But it will be live on the Wolves Facebook page. And yeah, it will be hopefully a really, really good show. And please, everyone that's listening, please come and join in. Just follow us. If you can donate, please donate. If you can't, don't worry. But it's going to be from a really good cause, for feeding the people of Wolverhampton that obviously are going through a really hard time at the moment. So please come and join us.
Yeah.
What time is it? What time are you?
It'll be at 8 o'clock on Friday. We'll start. It'll be on the Wolves Facebook page, and it'll be live.
Well,
absolutely brilliant. And that's the foundation fixture, the Liverpool game as well. And obviously every year they're raising money for the Feed Our Pack campaign, which is brilliant. Absolutely great to have you on. I'll make sure I give that some plugs as well on the socials and also on the preview of the Liverpool match, mate. No problem.
Thank you very much. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Brill.
Steve,
Look forward to it.
Steve,
On
can
the
you come back on after the Liverpool game to give us
Yeah,
an update on what you've raised as well, please?
We'll do. No problem at all, mate. No problem at all.
All right, take care.
Okay.
buddy.
Thank
very much,
you.
Steve. Thank you.
Bye.
And next on, we've got Aaron, Football Forever, DRIC. I'm taking that you're a Doncaster Rovers fan.
I am indeed. Yeah, really good result today for us. So buzzing about that.
What was your result? Who did you play today?
We got a 2-1 win over Plymouth. Really good, exciting performance. We've got 4 games in hand now on joint first in the league. We're right on course to being in the race for the title to get into the championship. So very exciting indeed. And you know, the club from top to bottom is very exciting as well with the future under Andy Butler, obviously.
Great. So what brings you? Obviously, it's great to have fans from the club. What brings you onto here tonight?
It was just really talking about because I got a chance to keep an eye on the game today, and it was very interesting because obviously I've kept an eye on Wolves, and I know they've got some very exciting talent. It's great to have to see some of the talent on display, like the Neves, the Patricio. I thought he was a good, experienced goalkeeper, and I think keeping an eye on the game, I think it could have ended 2-2 with more clinical finishing. I think that it was just a case of clinicalness. I think the first 15 minutes, Patricio really didn't have to do much. And then it's sort of the pressure told. And I think that, I mean, you look at the stats, I think Aston Villa had 9 shots, 2 on target. Wolves had 10 shots, 1 on target overall. It was just about clinicalness, really. And I think it was just taking the shots. And I think the goals maybe could have come. But I think a draw was a fair result in the end because it was a very even game. But I don't think Wolves are going to be in any danger. Neither is Aston Villa. I think both of them will try and get up into the top 10. But it should be interesting to see who actually makes it into the top 10. But I think it's just see the season out, and then Wolves will recruit in the summer, and so will Aston Villa.
Yeah, I think we will kind of feel that on here. I mean, I've said it at the start of the show tonight. I just want to get to the end of the season now. I think there's been a lot that's happened, but if we can get through, then like what Dave just said with the last caller, then hopefully we can, regroup in the summer and be better for it next year. But from a fan perspective, I mean, you guys are obviously having a fantastic season in League One, and it's a shame not to be there. So I think
absolutely, it's
have a bit
hard.
of this
I'm not going to lie, it's
season.
hard because, it's hard because one of our players today on this game made his 600th league appearance of his career, and I think it was the previous game or the game before he made his 800th appearance in total in football. So, you know, we've got a legend in our ranks. We've had past legends in Premier League clubs. And, you know, James Coppinger's our legend. And, you know, this season's what we believe to know is his last season after 17 years at the club. He's retiring as a player at the end of this season, unless he stays for one more year to get the fans on side and see the fans see him off next season. So, you know, I think 17 years at one club is, you know, amazing for us. And, you know, we hopefully move into more exciting times, which hopefully means the first season in the top flight. We've never been in the top flight, never been in the Premier League, and we want to get to that stage now, especially
You have been a few seasons in the Championship. Is it the keep mode, Doncaster, and you're playing red and white stripes?
That's right, yeah.
I never went to Doncaster Way, but I know my sister and my dad did. And Neil Collins scored a header, and it was 1-0. I think that was
I remember Wolves. I remember Wolves in the Championship all too well.
It was my sister's. My sister went on her 21st birthday, and Neil Collins scored. And my dad found some programme Salah that was in a 17th.
And I do remember the last day of the 08-09 season when Wolves beat us 1-0 just to sweeten the title. When you guys were already confirmed as champions, we finished near the top 10 under Sean O'Driscoll's management. So, but I'm very excited. I hope we can get top flight football under Andy Butler because he's a good player to manage Doncaster through and through, knows the club, dedicates his life to the club, playing very exciting football, direct, pressing, just really just letting it all come out this season, and hopefully we can get these promotions and start getting towards top flight football, and hopefully face you guys again.
Well, yeah, because I don't want to face you in the Championship, so you're going to have to make it to the Prem. So,
what's the highest position you've ever finished, Aaron?
I think it was 10th in the Championship. Like I said, we've never been in the Premier League, never been in the top flight. So I think it was around 10th in the Championship back in 2010. So hopefully we reach those heights again.
Absolutely. Well, good luck for the rest of the season. And it was obviously great to have you on tonight. So
I'll give my man of the match. In terms of my man of the match, I give it to Connor Cody because I think he's a good leader from the back, leads the team from the back, absolutely. And I think he's very underrated in the defenders in England this season. So I give him my plaudits. And I don't know who you guys are playing next, but I know that Liverpool, I hope you guys get the victory because I think Liverpool's been on a bad run of form. So, and we'll get the victory. Well, our next 4 games is Crewe away, Northampton home, and then we've got Gillingham coming up as well in the next 4 games. So we've got a good run now where we can head towards the title, especially with the rivals dropping points. So very excited and honoured to be on the show today, and hopefully come back on at the end of the season so we can hopefully share our glory.
Always welcome.
It's great to have you're our first Doncaster Rovers fan on the channel. So it's brilliant.
I do my own content as well, so it's always nice to do content day in, day out for your football club. It's always, I've had these past few days have been crazy for me. I never thought I'd be doing some of the stuff that I've done over the last few days. Talking to Ian Danter from Talk Sport about Darren Moore's exit to Sheffield Wednesday and about the appointment of Andy Butler. It was great to get his thoughts when he was doing the commentary for Talk Sport 2 on the day of the Portsmouth match, and speaking to AFTV months ago about Doncaster's history with Arsenal. So I've done some stuff that I never thought I'd do. So
you talk very well, Aaron. You talk very well, mate.
Yeah, and the club's a big supporter of the channel as well. The club's always been a fan of the channel. I've had former players messaging me about the content as well. So this is my first season on YouTube, so it's all been going off in this first season. So hopefully it keeps going from here.
If you go up to the Championship, that's going to be good for you as well, mate. So keep up.
Yeah, hopefully again, Newcastle Fan TV, my Pie channel, etc. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, do you think they're coming down, do you?
My predictions: Newcastle, Sheffield United, and West Brom. And you know what? I think that's 3 really good challenges for next season. And especially looking at the clubs coming up with us and the clubs staying in the Championship as well, with the likes of QPR, your Nottingham Forest, if Bournemouth stay in the Championship, that's going to be a wonderful fixture. So, I'm praying we do get top 2 or playoff wins this season so we can come up against these opponents and get 2 or 3 permanent transfers and a couple of loanees on permanent transfers that have been really good for this season over the door. But it's, I've been very excited about this manager because one of his top priorities was to keep the 11 players out of contract this summer on new deals, and it's very likely we're going to sign all 11 of them according to club sources. So nothing can be further from the positive truth at the minute. So it's all good.
Okay, Aaron. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and have a good rest of your weekend. And hope you go up.
Thank you very much, and we'll get 3 points against Crewe on Tuesday. Thank you.
You do that, mate. Take care, buddy.
Bye. Thank you.
And now to our final caller who's waited very patiently. It's Scott. Scott, before we get going, just sum up tonight's extra time for us, would you?
Probably one of the best extra times you've ever done, Dave, in all honesty. I've laughed my head off at some of it. It's been, how can I put it? It's probably been the most entertaining. A lot of decent perspectives from a Wolves point of view and stuff like that. And then to top it off, just with a lad who obviously has come across your channel whilst doing his own channel for his own club. And yeah, he talked well, spoke well. So all the best for him.
Oh, great. So, you're a friend of the show. You're kind of one of our regulars now, Scott. So what are your thoughts on, you've given us your thoughts on our show. So what were your thoughts on Wolves' show performance?
Well, let's put it this way. Villa against us today, I wasn't happy with it. I always try and look for the positives, as you know. And the positives for me was clean sheet. We still got a point. We had chances. We created chances, even though it took us a long time to create those chances. But yeah, extra time for me made today a lot better. In all honesty, but no, just for a second to just talk about this channel. For example, Wolfman Jeff. I discovered him by accident when he first started his channel, and I was like, "What's this?" Like, do you know what I mean? It was called Soccer in the South or something like that. And I followed him from there, and then obviously once he started coming on Dave's channel as well, I thought, you know, like Dave says, he talks well, he analyzes games really well as well. And to have him on tonight's show, and then to be followed by the guy who's in the dark, it just still can't, I still can't get over.
From Wolfman to Ghostman to Statman.
See, with Ghostman, I think the story behind that is when you get a blackout on Take Me Out, we never see the guy again. And that's probably because he's in the dark all the time. Do you know what I mean? So, but no, it's been a great show tonight, and you know, I'm glad to be a part of it and to give you my thoughts on the game.
Yeah, well, we always enjoy your thoughts. I think everyone thinks, you know, you always come with a really good point of view, so we appreciate that. And I think tonight, I feel like the whole show's just been a roller coaster. I'm like sat here, and I don't really know what's happened for the last nearly hour and a half. So we've literally had a football game in extra time, and it's probably more has happened within this extra time than the Wolves game, to be honest.
You weren't kidding there, Amy. It's been unbelievable. I think you could not write the script. It should be first on match of the day, to be fair.
You guys give a match rating, ask for a match rating and a man of the match. I should do that for tonight's extra time because it's been that good. But no, it's been an awesome show, and I'm glad to be a part of it. A lot better than what we witnessed earlier, which, like I said, I always try to look for the positives, and getting a clean sheet and a point was probably the best thing to come out of that game. I agree with what Dave said. We will probably see Bolly against Liverpool. That's probably why he didn't feature today.
Yeah.
I know Jose gets a lot of slack, but today I think in that Man City game we were begging for that type of player to be between Neto and Traore, to hold the ball up and, you know, make the odd pass here to get it going. And he kind of did that today because there was so many times that he booted the ball out of our area to clear it. And it was one of them where, as a team player today, I thought Jose was fine, but as a striker, he wasn't that great, and that could go down again to the fact that he's not getting the service from the wingers because the wingers are looking to get a goal of their own, especially Neto. And I'm not going to blame Neto because we do need to start attacking more, and Neto was tremendous today. Traore looked lost in that first half. In the second half, he was a lot better, but not as great as we know he can be. And then I would also say that when Fabio Silva came on for Jose, he was a lot more active than Jose was, but I still think we lost that link-up play that Jose was giving us in spits and spats because he wasn't constantly there like we're used to with Raul. But no, it was a game that I was just hoping that we could get through, get a point out of, because in my honest opinion, I thought this was going to be a 2-0 Wolves win. I thought if you scrap the Man City game and as a whole, I thought we still were in good form. We still have the momentum. Villa weren't playing that well lately, so I thought Wolves were going to get a win here, but it just didn't work out that way, and we ended up just getting a draw out of it. But I'm happy that we got that, because if you exclude the Man City game, we are still technically unbeaten, because it's going to be hard for anybody to beat City at this rate. And with Liverpool being on the ropes like they are now, we've got to jump on that. We've got to capitalise on that and try and get something out of that game.
Yeah, I'd like to see. I really want to see Wolves beat Liverpool in the league, because I think we've been quite unlucky against them in the past few meetings. So, who have got Liverpool? Have Liverpool playing tomorrow? Who have they got tomorrow?
They've got Fulham. They've got Fulham. And, you know, they've got Fulham at Anfield, and Liverpool have lost 5 games in a row. I know when they'd lost 4, it was the first time since 1923. I don't think they'd ever lost 5 games in a row. To lose again to Fulham tomorrow, it'll be 6 games in a row they've lost. And the bizarre thing is, they were on this 2-year unbeaten run. They've lost 1 game, and then boom, psychologically, how does that work? It's bizarre, and they've lost 5 in a row at Anfield after being unbeaten in 2 years.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they didn't win tomorrow, Liverpool, but then Fulham have to win to keep there. So I think it's going to be a good game that tomorrow, to be honest.
You look at this season as a whole for any team that's in the Premier League, it's been a weird one. Like
Oh,
at the
100%.
at the
100%.
begin at the beginning of it, Southampton were tearing the league up, and now you look at them now; they've gone back to being, I guess, what you call normal Southampton. And then you look at Liverpool, who took over 30 years to win the league. You think that they're going to come strong, and they get plagued with injuries. And even though they've still got a lot of key players within their squad, like us, they're still not hitting the mark. And it's the same with us. We've still got a lot of our key players, but we're still not hitting the mark. It's just a weird season. And this is why you're seeing teams like Villa, West Ham, Everton shining, because I honestly think next season, everything that you've seen this season will not happen next season. I think next season, Liverpool will be a lot stronger, will be a lot stronger. And the tops, let's just put it this way, the top 7 teams, I would say the top 7 teams, whoever they are, when this season finishes, will not be in the same order, if you know what I mean. And you'll probably get like Tottenham will probably be in that top 7, Liverpool will be in that top 7. But at the minute, I don't think Tottenham are in the top 7 at the minute. No, and I know Liverpool are just in it. So it's one of them. It's a weird season. That's why, like with this game, it just sums up that whole thing again, where I just want it over and done with now. I just want us to get through the season. We're not going to get relegated. We're not going to get anywhere in the European positions. But let's just be grateful that we got through it. And then we have a decent pre-season with everybody back, including Raul, and go again. And hopefully bring in somebody during the summer to boost the squad a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I think you've summed it up well there. That's a lot of my thoughts and feelings. It's been, me and my dad have said all along that this, whatever happens this season, is quite nil and void, because you'll always look back, and it'll be fantastic for City to win. I'd quite like them to see the quadruple, but it'll always kind of be a little bit tainted, and it'd be like, well, it was a season when there was no pre-season. They're going to benefit because they've got such a big, good squad, and there's no fans. So I think there's a lot of factors that have obviously affected all teams that doesn't really make it a true season. So yeah, I'm looking forward to next season for sure.
And to finish off, Scott, your man of the match and your rating, just to finish the show.
Match rating, I would say 6. Just because, again, it's a game of 2 halves. The first half we didn't really show up. Second half we did a lot better, and we had so many chances to, put a winner in. And I'm still baffled to this day. To this time, should I say, how Stace did not put it on the back of the net. But he can be forgiven because Stace has been a great player for us this season. But yeah, 6. Man of the match, definitely Neto. Neto would look like he was the only one that was bothered about attacking until like the second half. Then a lot more people started moving into gear. But yeah, I'm just glad that we got a clean sheet, got a point, and we move on now. And we got like 9 days, I think, till that Liverpool game.
Yeah, it's week Monday.
Yeah. And I want to apologise for my rough appearance as well, because I've had a shave. I've had
and you've not had a retro top on tonight either, which you've let us down on.
I am really rough at the minute. I had a wisdom tooth out, and I'm on a lot of medication.
I hope you're okay.
No, I'm fine. But that's why I had to have a shave as well, because like if you feel this side of my face, it's like just normal, but then here it's all bumpy because all the swelling's come out. So this is why my face is all puffy at the minute. I should have not really had a shave because I'm a lot fatter now in the face. But so I'm in a lot of pain. But I promised Dave I'd come back on, so I'm back on.
Well, it's good to see you. It's always good to have you on. So thanks for joining.
I love it. I love being on, especially tonight's show. I'll
tell you what, mate. In many years to come, when this is in the BBC archives or whatever. You'll be part of that thing in the green room, laughing away with the rest of us. But yeah, it's been a classic. Thanks for joining us again, mate.
No worries. And if you donate £1, right, to that guy who has no light, we can help him get a light. Okay, so everybody in the chat room, let's donate to get him a light. All right.
Thanks, electricity.
Fantastic. Cheers.
No worries. All the best.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
So just going to change the background to finish off. Oh my goodness me. What an extra time that has been it's had everything tonight. Hilarious. I haven't laughed this much in ages. I've got to tell you, it's been just brilliant. And when you put the light on, I couldn't hold it back anymore.
I didn't even think it was that funny, to be honest. But
Everyone
obviously,
was laughing away.
I'm obviously missing my.
It was because it was such a dry comment to follow it up, and it was just triggered. I mean, Speedy went off. I have a very dry sense of humour, so I like putting humour is probably what I like. So, but yeah, I feel like it's been an emotional roller coaster, this show. I don't really. It's had it all, hasn't it? So I think the people and everyone that's been watching in the comments, they've been having a laugh along with us. Some of the comments that they were put in when Keith was on, because I was trying to listen to Keith, and obviously he's in the dark, he hasn't got a thingy. And then some of the comments, I was just really trying.
They were very funny. The comments were very funny.
Comical.
And Keith's been commenting in with the banter now, so I think he's taking it well as well. He's seen the funny side in it. So
who's that?
Keith's been commenting, so I think it's like the banter.
It was brilliant. Wow. It was absolutely brilliant. It was literally comedy gold. It was just brilliant from Wolfman from Ghostman to Wolfman to Statman. It was absolutely fantastic. Look here, Lee, brilliant. It's made his night. We've got Shedman, Super Shedman, fair play. And look, Bennett, my garden shed. David Mole, it's absolutely brilliant. I tell you what, it's been entertaining, and that's what it's all about. That's what this channel's all about. It's about giving people their views, being real, having a laugh, and it's just been fantastic. Have you sticking with your two for your men of the match, or have you leaned to one side, or you're going to stick with your two?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's saying Cody and Neto, but I do think Semedo for me had a good game, and I am enjoying watching him play now. So I just think overall it was an okay game. Nothing really to write home about, but a clean sheet. As my dad, Wilf, who hasn't been on tonight, always says, you can't lose if you keep a clean sheet, which is true. So, you're halfway there. And I think we've not had many this season. So it's great. That's a real positive, I think. And so, yeah, I think overall you can't grumble. A point at Villa, who have had quite a good season. So I just hope that we can get the win against Liverpool, because I do think we need that win.
Because I think many times I feel we've been like you, we've been unlucky against Liverpool. It'd be nice to get that victory under our belt. And everyone that's watched tonight, I hope you've enjoyed it. Please smash a like, leave a comment. Feel free to share. Hopefully a lot of other people can catch up with it as well. It will be on the podcast as well. So if you watched it live, leave your comments. If you've listened to it on the podcast, give us a rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And obviously, if you're watching it after the show, again, leave your comments and your thoughts. And if you do want to get on the show, like Keith and the Italian guy from Wolverhampton, Giuseppe. Wolf, and all the guests that we've had tonight have been absolutely brilliant. Just send a message to the page and we'll get you on in the future. And I think that's just about time, isn't it, Ames?
It is. I need to lie down after that, to be fair.
I know you've had 3 glasses of wine now, ain't you, as well?
I have been over the course of 6 hours. So
over 6 hours, yeah, absolutely brilliant.
But yeah, it's I need to recover from that show, to be honest.
And no one would have missed anything on Match of the Day because we're on last anyway. So there you go.
I don't know what they're going to say about it, Match of the Day, but anyway.
Rest of the season competition, I think.
Yeah.
All right. From Amy and myself, thank you for joining. I hope you've enjoyed it and had a laugh, and we've cheered you up. And from myself, as I say, and Amy, cheerio, always Wolves.
Always Wolves. Bye.